Spoiler review for Captain America: Brave New World. Going to get into obvious spoilers, hence I said spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie already, you might want to do that. There's a lot of different things in here. I want to start with the positive. And for me, one of the things that I said I enjoyed about this movie more so than anything else that's been happening recently with Marvel is the fact that they kind of tie things in to what you need to know leading into the new Avengers movies, because however many movies we're into, phase 4, phase 5, whatever the hell we're in now, we still don't know what the hell the through line is. We knew in the first 3 phases that the Infinity Stones were leading up to Infinity War, leading up to Endgame, the appearance of Thanos and all that, and you knew it was a lead up. This is like multiverse. They had Kang at one point. You didn't know what the hell's going on. I felt for the first time in this movie, they started to set things up. They're clearly putting things in place for the X-Men, hence the adamantium. And they tie that into the Celestial that was left at the end of the movie of the Eternals. And they play on that. They even have that at the end of the movie when they're in the big battle thing. But the setup of how important adamantium is, that it's more than even vibranium. And they have all of these different throwbacks or references to it and how important adamantium is going to be. And I think that's going to be a through line leading up to it. And that worked. The other thing was when Ross brings in Sam to say, hey, listen, I want you to restart the Avengers. Well, clearly that's going to lead into him starting the Avengers and bringing back the Avengers, and a reason why. Now, the question is the president that comes in after Ross goes to jail, does he continue that over? They keep on the treaty that they were working on with Japan, so they probably will honor the fact that they want Sam to run the Avengers. So the Avengers will be run by Sam. We knew that was rumored that Anthony Mackie was going to be the head of the Avengers, and it makes sense for showing what he wants to do and how that's going to lead into it. So those things to me was like, okay, fine. And even the post-credit scene, which I thought the villain was just not great. I like Tim Blake Nelson a lot, but the look looked like an old Fangoria cover magazine. And that's not a good thing. One like a B movie, like a really bad B movie one with his brain exposed and all this. And it's just like it just didn't look great. He wasn't an intimidating villain. And the idea of like, well, you lied to me, Ross. You stuck me in this thing for so long, and now I'm mad at you. Arrgh, and now I'm going to make it. I'm going to come up with this cockamamie scheme because I'm so much smarter because the gamma got into my head, and I could have been something, but you stink. So I'm gonna come get you. I thought that if you go back, and it was funny because when you look at Daniel Bruhl in Civil War. He got so much crap. He got so much crap back then. It just wasn't that, the motivation wasn't that great of a villain. He's Thanos compared to this guy because it's the same kind of thing. What I did like is that they brought him back from the Hulk because it was like, well, wait a minute, what happened to that guy? But anyway, his post-credit scene leads to something's happening, something big's happening. Different universes, galaxy. It's going to play into Fantastic Four, which is going to play into the Avengers, and then it just builds back into, I guess, into the joining of how the X-Men get here and all that. So it's a clear setup. At least those are the positives to say, okay, that makes a lot of sense. The things that, again, the positive side of things, because there's a lot of negative, but a lot of positive things. Anthony Mackie and his leadership skills of how he's what he's trying to do and what Sam is doing, even though, and I was talking to a friend about this and I agree with what he said, the beauty of what Sam always had kind of like a fun kind of carefree nature about him in the other movies, but now he's got all this responsibility and he's a little bit more stoic now. And I think that takes away a little bit from the character, but still enough to where I believe, yes, he's still a likable character. He's someone I want to see win, and I see his struggle overall, even though I think it was a rehash of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, or whether or not he thought he was worthy to be Cap. He already went through that. He knows that he is. He's still kind of not sure if he should. I understand that. I personally, I don't know, people are going to argue with me on this. I think he should have taken the serum. I don't necessarily know how he could have fought the Hulk in the way that he did, because Cap had the serum and he barely could fight off Thanos punching the shield, and Yet Anthony Mackie was able to do it fairly easy, and he doesn't have the serum. And I get it. It was the whole point you can do it without the serum, but give him the serum. The stuff that also worked, and I don't know if this is because I've seen the series of Falcon and Winter Soldier, but it's the stuff with Isaiah Bradley. And that, to me, was the most, well, the two storylines I thought that worked the best was Isaiah, and although, I don't know how attached you are to him. If anybody that's watching this has not seen Falcon and Winter Soldier, were you not invested in that storyline at all? Or maybe you would have been invested more if you watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I think that that's one of the things that the quantity over quality sometimes hurts, because it's like, oh, let's just put out as much as we can. But it's like you're asking people to watch a lot of stuff. But I liked what they did with him. I think that the scene with him in prison really worked very well. He said, don't come back here again. I thought all that stuff worked, and you could see that there was a reason and the motivation for what Sam was trying to do and try to clear his name. It's essentially what Cap had to do with Bucky also. One of the things that didn't necessarily work, although I'd like to see him, was Bucky. Just kind of shows up, and you're like, there he is. That's that moment. But it's like it didn't feel earned in that place, in that point. It's nice to see him. He's a senator, I guess. I don't remember that from the series, but how that's going to play into Thunderbolts, I don't know. But yet again, I guess one of the positives is that you're going to probably see something tie from that leading into the next movie, which is the Thunderbolts. But that was just kind of thrown in there to say, hey, we can't get Mark Ruffalo on this one, even though we should, because it's the Hulk, and it would make sense. Especially, it would be great to see Hulk versus Hulk, but we're not going to do that because we don't want to take away from Captain America. But you throw him in there, he shows up. And the other thing is the Giancarlo Esposito. You could tell they wanted a high-quality actor. His storyline, look, he's an intimidating dude when he's a bad guy. He's a great actor. But you can tell that it was just kind of, hey, we need a little bit more of a power force. Let's get Giancarlo Esposito in here. But what does he really do? He kind of gets bested by Cap a few different times, and then he's been working for Mr. Blue or whatever, and the fight was a little brutal between the two of them. That was fun, but then it was just kind of a nothing burger overall. But again, the question is whether or not he's going to come back. I don't think you really use him once and then don't bring him back. I mean, in the same way that you used George St. Pierre, who was great in the first Winter Soldier, and then you brought him back for Falcon and a Winter Soldier. So I think that Giancarlo could probably do some more stuff. We'd want to see him for sure. I mean, he's obviously in the Disney family when it comes to Mandalorian and other things, and you get the guy if you can get him again. But in this particular role, it didn't really serve much of a purpose, I don't think. I said in my review and in my reaction, I think that this served more of a Captain or the Hulk sequel more than a Captain America sequel, because this is, to me, the through line of Thunderbolt Ross. And I think that obviously when you lose a great actor like William Hurt, and to see what he did in the way that he started with the Incredible Hulk and the stuff that he did chasing after Banner, and what he did with Abomination, and then you see that same type of thing that he's got in this movie, the character, where at the end of the Incredible Hulk, he knows that he's got to let Banner go and fight Abomination, and he also lets him run and help him out and do this. There's times that he's not just a pure son of a bitch. A lot of the times, 90% of the times, he's a son of a bitch. But there's that 10% you go, oh, he's a little less than 90% in this one. I'd say he's probably in a 60%. It's still there. And that's the thing with him, is that it's still there, but he's trying. He's trying to change. And I like the thing that they did with Liv Tyler. I like the thing that when they brought Betty back and what it is, his motivation overall of what he's trying to do, the fact that he was sick and the fact that Mr. Blue helped him out. And there was this, trying to prove he's a good man, but yet there's all the demons that are there, and he still can't help be who he is. And he makes that move where he has an opportunity to work with Sam and free Isaiah and tell people what's going on, but he doesn't do it. He still sticks with the old secrets, and he does that. That part of the movie I thought worked really well. One of the things I didn't think worked well, and it had nothing to do with the actor's performance, but the woman who played the other Black Widow. I also don't know why you needed another Black Widow in there. I guess she's just working for him. I know that they changed it up because of things that happened that were going on in the world, but I didn't necessarily find the character likable at all. And it was just because she was in the Black Widow program, I'm supposed to go, ooh, she's another Black Widow. That's great. She can flip around and kick people in the face. Ooh. It's like, no, it wasn't just that Scarlett Johansson or Natasha could do all those things. You know, it was the fact that you liked her. You understood overall the character, and you liked her. You understood, oh, okay, Natasha is, there's a reason that she is the way she is, but there's a charm to her. There's these other things. This character didn't have that. And another character that didn't have that at all, and I've mentioned this many times over, is the new Falcon. And I've mentioned this in the same way. I like Danny Ramirez as an actor. I do. I liked him in Top Gun. I like him in a lot of things that he pops up in. I felt this might have been the writing of it, but they were really trying to make him the witty sidekick, and it just failed. Like I found, I guess he was supposed to be charming and kind of funny, when almost like in a Kevin Hart type of way when they go to Isaiah and he's like being disrespectful. I'm like, what are you being disrespectful to this guy for? You haven't earned that. And then he also, when he's fighting with Cap, and at one point, he does that silly dance with the motorcycles, but then he does the thing when they're fighting, and he says that he goes punk ass, and that's supposed to get a laugh, and it doesn't. It was not funny. And then when he gets hurt at the end, you're like, okay, I'm glad you're not dead, but we're not really broken up about it. Like we just rewatched, and I'm doing a rewatch. My friend Sam is watching the MCU for the first time, and we just finished. We're just about to put Endgame out, but when we watched Civil War, and Rhodey fell, you're like, no, because when Rhodey was Rhodey to me was what they're trying to go for there, or even Sam. What Sam was to Cap, right? They made him too obnoxious and and he was like a less charming Ned like Ned had in Spider-Man. Ned had like that charm, and Ned was like the best friend who just was like, oh, come on, oh, Ned, Ned, you said the wrong thing again, but he's funny, he's charming. This time you're just like, not Joaquin, I think his name is in the. It just didn't hit. But what I did like was the ending, and I did like the ending a lot. I liked how they set the things up with the treaty, and they have to figure out how to do this, and finally the president allows Cap to do his thing, and the stuff with Falcon leading up to the fall and all that, of how they have to get the pilots that are essentially into the Manchurian candidate type thing. They have to stop them. They have to make sure that they stop this all-out war from breaking out around the Celestial, which is cool. But leading into the Red Hulk, which I liked the Red Hulk a lot because it made me miss Rage Hulk in general. Rage Hulk was one of my favorite things. We haven't had it in a long time, and I thought that the Red Hulk looked really good. I don't know if that means he's coming back at all. Are they going to use him again for the Avengers? I don't know, but minus the fact, again, like as I mentioned in the earlier part of the review, I had questions about how Sam was able to just block him just with the shield, and he was also, I like the fact that he could talk him off the ledge because he used the Betty stuff and the way that they made that all work. But I thought the battle was good. I thought the way that they used him, that to me that was the best part of the movie. I thought that the Red Hulk worked really well. And I was expecting going into it, because of the scenes that I saw. I saw the scene that, well, I still don't understand why the motorcycle guy just drives off the road after not getting hit. But that there was too much talking in that one fight, the first fight you see with Cap, and they released that, and then they released that strange scene when Harrison Ford is working out and having the conversation with his Secret Service agent, who I still don't really understand the purpose of what she served. I think between her and the Black Widow, that you could have had the same role combined into one. I don't understand what the purpose was of having both of them, but those are the scenes that they released, and I was expecting really bad. And I said I didn't think it was really bad. Now, is that a selling point to go see a movie? No, not really. But that's why you could probably save it for Disney Plus. But I also say if you want to catch up and you want to watch what's going on in the MCU, there have been the movies like Love and Thunder and the Marvels are the two that come to mind when I went, oh my God, what are we doing here? And I was like, I wish I didn't come to the movie theater to watch this. I could have just watched this at home. I didn't feel that way watching this. I probably won't remember this movie outside of doing these reviews. If I watch it again, but overall it didn't make me go, oh, that was terrible. It's whatever. That's my spoiler thoughts on the movie. What did you guys think about it? Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Put your thoughts in there and let me know. Subscribe to the channel. I mentioned I'm doing these MCU rewatches for myself, first time watching for my friend Sam. She had never seen Marvel movies leading up to this. We just finished Captain Marvel. Endgame goes up on Tuesday. So come and check us out. Join us over there. The list is on the front of the page. You can go check it out. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you soon.